Welcome to Retro Robot Radio's look at the TFcon Toronto 2014 third-party panel. We'll be going through these slides. I'll probably go quickly through the slides of things that we already have seen and focus on the new information. Alright, so starting off the slideshow, we have BMOG Toys. And there's Arsenal vs. Mantex, which should be out any day now. I heard they actually had them at BotCon. Yeah, so they go on all sorts of other figures, and they can make your own. I think they made their own version of Scorpulator to go with Hercules. You notice they never advertise them with third-party Transformers, though. I don't think they like that stigma of third-party Transformers, but really that's their biggest selling place. This is the third-party Transformer panel. You'd think they'd show toys with Hercules or whatever. Oh well. There's Featherblight and Chainbill Splatterpuss, which is probably going to be wave 2 of the BMOG toys, because we need a bird made of swords and a platypus made of chainsaws. Also, there's the non-Dino Squad. They are a bunch of prehistoric reptiles. Now this one, I saw the concept sketches from this. It was on the table for BMOG at BotCon. This is a 8-bot/Retroid. I guess it's all sorts of old 8-bit video game parts that you can combine to form different robots. This bit over here looks a lot like a Lego brick as well, if you ask me. The looks like, for instance, this could be a chainsaw or it can be a wheel. We got some grabber claws. We got head. I'm sure there's going to be stickers on this. Looks interesting. Okay, Atomic Robot. We saw some of their stuff teased a few months ago. We didn't know really what it was. And here it looks like they're making Bludgeon as a tank. They're making Bonzaitron as a tank. And that's their version of animated Yokitron done as a classics tank called Bushido. A lot of people were calling this Drift for some reason, but it's Yokitron. Let's see here. We also have X2 Toys upgrades. Yes, they did the ones for Hoist and Trailbreaker. Now they're going to be doing their own version of Pounce and, or no, this is Cloudbreaker and Fastlane. I saw some color pictures of these guys online recently, and they're still using the black and whites here, the grayscale. Also, we have Designer's Kidding Project. I guess that was going to come with a little Voltron line that turns into a rifle. And the Voltron lion will become the arm of something. People are kind of in a disagreement of whether that's going to be some existing toy or they're going to start making a Build-A-Figure, maybe. Also, X2 Toys looks like they're going to be making Impactor. It'd be nice if someone actually got off their butts and made Impactor. When we had so many that could be coming out, and the only one we have is that horrible Generations Deluxe Impactor from Hasbro. DX9. A lot of people are confusing DX9 with Unique Toys. Ends up DX9's the design team that worked with Unique Toys to make their versions of Blaster and the Sharkticons, but they're kind of spinning off into their own company now. Their first product was that Salmore Cycle motorcycle. Now they're making a Legend-sized Scourge. This is one of those toys where I really wish it was bigger. You made this scale to go with Mania King, it'd be great. I don't know why they want to make it like Legends Commander class. We have Splinter here, and he trains the turtles on how to fight ninja. No, wait. This is Splinter, who is Wreck-Gar. It's a nice mold. It's just slightly a variation of the Salmore. I think it really was designed to be this guy first, and they came up with the Salmore version later, but released it first. You can tell because the spiked things on the wheels are really meant for a Junkion, not for Salmore. But the problem is a lot of people already have Generations, Wreck-Gar, and the Junkions, and I don't think they're going to pay $90 for a slightly better figure. whereas for Psykill there wasn't one. Now this one has me excited. Hey baby, it's a big old female GoBot named Crasher. Yeah, I love that. They're gonna have to look at maybe finding this one sometime. Wonder if they'll make the white color variant of Crasher that came out as a toy, because they're making the green variant of Psykill. A lot of people were looking at this and thinking it was animated motorcycle homage, but I'm like, no, that's just green Psykill. That's not Oil Slick. Now we have Echo TF, who released the Boosticus upgrade kit. That one was really cool. I got the preview black version of that from a friend. It was really good. I like it on my G2 Bruticus, because on Bruticus most of the combiner bits from the G2 were black anyway, so it actually works better than the official G2 upgrade for Generations Bruticus. Echo TF's Surefoot upgrade kit. That's trailers for trail cutter and hoist that turn into lifts for their feet, so they're a little bit taller. Because the one problem with these figures is they're just a bit too small. Now here we have... Ooh, yeah, that looks pretty cool. It does make them a little taller, because they were shorter than Jazz, and that's just not right. Alright, so G.I. Eddie and Echo TF are two designers at TFW 2005, and they have some upgrades coming out. The Quarter Mile Upgrade Kit, that's the first I heard the name, is a set of weapons and bits and bobs for the Fans Project Not Stunticons. Mostly it started off as an upgrade for their drag strip figure, but then they added weapons for all of them, it looks like. Yeah, it adds some pretty good cannons for the vehicle modes, too. And all the parts can end up going on to the combined form. It'd be kind of neat if they could make it all a handheld weapon, but I guess strapping all the guns to the arms and legs works. Now, Bold Forms, they've been doing a lot of teasers lately, and I'd like to see something come from them. Their Gladius figure is their first one. It's a handgun and mobile striker, which I guess is code for it's a tank that doesn't quite look like a tank. 22 centimeters tall in robot mode. That makes it a bit shorter than the MP10 Optimus Prime, and a bit taller than Toy World Orion and iGear's Faith Leader. So I'd probably say this is a Classics figure, just because it's shorter than MP10, and Megatron would probably have to be taller than Optimus Prime. And it will have a rifle, or actually it's a pistol with a stock and a silencer and a scope. And I heard it will also have a tank mode. Bold Forms is also making a Stunticon inspired combiner. This is completely different from the ones coming from Orbitron and the ones coming from Fans Project. This one looks pretty darn cool. It's very G1 inspired, but with articulation. Could use a bigger sword. .29 centimeters tall in combined mode. Coming out this fall. I wonder if it's a box set or if they're selling them individually. I'd rather have it in 2 packs like the Maki Toys Giant. No one seems to do that way, but I always thought that was the best way to release combiners, is in 2 packs like that. Keith's Fantasy Club. They got a couple of new ones, and a couple from last year's TFcon that haven't made it out quite yet. I heard that they're going through and making sure on the quality control on the Overslay and Haymaker figures before they come out. They could be out any time. They've also have this new mold called Best of Scorpions. Looks like it's going to come up in Scorponok, Dark Scorponok, and Double Pinch, which is Double Punch. You think they could release that in, what was it, the Autobot Pretender Double Header and maybe Quick Strike from Beast Wars? In fact, you know what? I'd love to see a set of the cassettes that were Beast Wars inspired. I mean, they have a bird, they have a gorilla, they have a scorpion, they have a lion. This could be, Air Razor, Optimus Primal, Scorponok, or Quick Strike, and Cheetor. You could eat Rhinox for the Rhino mold. You could have a whole Beast Wars set of these guys. And then here are some other figures they're coming out with. The Ghetto Blast and Mugen Scope and the Mugen Amputari and Mugen Scope. That's a weird 2-pack. I don't like that they are releasing what is essentially the same figure in 2 different 2-packs. So you'd have to end up getting a duplicate if you wanted one of everything. Just on the bright side, they are very cheap, and you can probably sell the G1 colored Mugen Scope on eBay reasonably quick. KFC also has the Tempest figure that's going to be coming out. I've heard rumors of various remolds and repaints of this, but the very first one is going to be Generation 1 Cyclonus. And he comes with the Target Master and 2 rifles. Still haven't heard exactly what the name of the Target Master is. I heard the name of the line that this is coming out in is called the Chug and Thug. So the Chug is the larger figure, who is the classics Henkei universe and Generations, and the Thug is the little sidekick. So expect more paired figures coming out from KFC in the future. The Citizen Stack, which has already been out, and they just are releasing the joint fixes for that. The very first run ended up having a little bit weak joints, but they were good enough to release replacement joints, and the second release of the toy comes with them. Now, this is the Diaclone recolor, and I'm still wondering if this is a typo, because it's DAI instead of DIA. I'll just call him Commander Stack. Let's see. He looks like he has a faceplate in this picture, but the comic book that I saw online of him has him with just the normal Citizen Stack face. And KFC's Nemesis Stack, or Citizen Black, or whatever you want to call him. He's the RID Scourge recolor. I think Hero Toys Maker made a black Nemesis Ultra Magnus of their smallest Ultra Magnus figure once. So this is kind of the second version of that. Or you could also go with it being similar to Shadow Commander from Fans Project. Either way, I don't think Hasbro's ever actually released a black Ultra Magnus, have they? It's kind of a third-party thing. KFC is also releasing these hand upgrades for the Masterpiece 10 mold. Okay, if you want to be able to flip off somebody with your MP10, there you go. The Sky Pirates. They got the Haiku and the Sencho Barbosa. These should be out any time. They already released the all-black editions, and the color ones will be coming soon. Gigapower is making their Masterpiece Snarl figure, which is the first of their Masterpiece line. Let's see. HQ03. I don't know why it's 03 and it's the first one. But it's probably the biggest of the Dinobots figures coming out lately. There's about 7 or 8 different companies making their own version of the Dinobots because Hasbro failed miserably when they made theirs for the movie. So this is the absolute biggest one. It's very G1 inspired. And there's their alt mode for Snarl. And as you can see, he's freaking huge. And they went with the official scale charts to figure out how big it should be. Also, their next figure will be their slag figure, Grassor. Okay, now we have Shift Inc. They're one of the newer companies that came out in the last few months. And they have Heavy Metal versus Sky Snake, the Micro Legion Micro Legion Series 1. It's basically Fall of Cybertron, Ironhide versus Starscream in the Legends Commander size. And they'll come with lots of weapons. You know, I think the one thing that these could really use, I know they have the Fall of Cybertron accurate weapons, but I really love the way that the Hasbro Legends Commanders toys lately have been coming out with Target Masters. If you gave these guys Target Master companions, I think it'd be really cool. Just make them Micromaster characters, especially Ironhide. You know, we already have a companion for Starscream from Hasbro officially, but we don't have one for Ironhide. I'd have him have some little robot, I don't know, tote or something, some Micromaster. And here we see that there are prototypes. Some people were calling this a knockoff of the Fall of Cybertron Deluxe Starscream, and those people don't know they're behind from a hole in the ground, because it has nothing to do with that engineering. It may look like the same alt mode and robot mode, but they don't transform the same. Microblaze Creations, they're the ones working on the replacement Onslaught for the Bruticus Combiner. I think it looks pretty good. It's what Hasbro should have done in the first place. I still like the G.I. Eddie and Echo TF ones for their price. They're great. And also they look great with the let's see, it has some. It looks like they're going to come out with alternate versions of the foot plates, so it will work with the different versions of the Bruticus Combiner. You don't have to buy a completely different set for the different Bruticus Combiners. TFC Toys, they're of course the makers of Hercules and Uranus. And their latest combiner is Ares, which has Neiman, Phloggius, Conibus, and there's Ares combined form. I think that's we've just seen that recently. That's what the final combined form of their toy will look like. Now, the next one that we have coming out is the Prometheus combiner, which is based on Generation 1 Defensor. This is Gumball, Warning Line, who is Groove. And what's going to be coming soon in 2015? A lot of people are saying that this could be the TFcons. We can only hope. Perfect Effect. They are the makers of various cassettes that turn into guns. And the Motorcycle RC. And the Arania, who's kind of RC, kind of Black Arachnia, kind of Arachnid, but she's more Bike Arachnid. I don't know. There's been an argument as to what this character actually is. I say it's original. What the heck? You can't have a Spider Girl who's original? Why not? The Warden figure is their replacement head for Fortress Maximus that turns into an IDW-style Fortress Maximus figure. Now, this is the new one coming up, Leonidas. He seems to be based on the Lio Convoy from Beast Wars 2nd. And honestly, how many Beast Wars 2nd toys have been made in a third party? And also we have the Deathstalker coming out, which looks like it's going to be Scorponok, G1 Scorponok Citybot. In case you didn't get the one at BotCon or the G1 one, this is another. Perfect Effect has the weapons kits coming out for the Revenge of the Fallen Bludgeon mold and all its repaints and remolds, including one for the BotCon version as Overlord. Now this one I do not get. They're going to be making super deformed versions of Warden and Deathstalker. I don't know. How big are these? Do they use the same heads as the bigger versions of the characters? I'm not interested. Oh, yes, and there'll be a Black Zarak version too. Now, Mech Ideas is a company, I really like their first product with that Apex and Geminis. And it looks like, sadly, they're moving into animated. So if you like animated, that's great. If not, oh well. I have the Long Blast kit. That was incredibly cheap, like only a few bucks. And it turned Jazz into Shockwave. And also came with a little Megatron gun. It's pretty cool. There's the Apex and Geminis. I would really love to see them release Chrome versions of the weapons for these guys, because the TFcon exclusives of Prototype X and whatever they were, the Jumpstarter recolors, had Chrome weapons, and I would love to see the Chrome weapons on the originals. So, Mech Ideas, release the Chrome weapons. Here's their figures that are just coming out right now. This is Gauntlet, who also comes in Dirty Gauntlet, and Piston, who seems to be really darn cool. That Piston is based on Crankcase, in case you didn't recognize it. These are their first animated style figures. They have Bluster and Trench, who are that's actually Pipes and Huffer. And they have a exclusive Mario Brothers repaint of those figures. It's going to be coming to conventions. Mastermind Creations, who also works with Mech Ideas. You'll know them from their Hearts of Steel style figures like Cyclops, Screecher, Stormer, Warper. The reformatted line is more updated classics, with the Terminus Hexatron being 6-shot. Then they had their Terminus Hexatron Shadow Emissary, who's kind of painted like the Fallen. The big line right now for Mastermind Creations has been their version of Predaking, which a lot of people like. I always thought it was a bit too spiky, but if that's your thing. There's Fortis and Bovis and Leodux and Talon and Tigress and Felisaber, because remember that 6th Predacon? No? Okay, well, Felisaber is actually the Autobot Pretender Catilla, reimagined as a former Predacon, and he can actually combine with the Predacon set to form a 6th member. Now, here's the Mastermind Creations new line coming up, which is their Fembots based on IDW RC. Azalea's RC. Xenia is the Paradron Medic. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce their version of Elita 1 and Solus Prime. Now, we have their line after the Fembots is going to be based on a set of Decepticons who appeared in the IDW comics, ones I have not read yet, but I know that these are all based on one of the Decepticon squads that appears in the IDW comics. There's Commodus. And I'll find out more information about these when the molds start coming out. Then we have Synesis, who turns into a rifle. I think he's, let's see, we have Arachnus, who turns into an electric chair. And this is a teaser that supposedly there's another Fembot coming out, a new mold, and from the looks of it, a female land vehicle with 6 wheels. Yeah, that's Beast Machine's Strika. And it looks like that Mastermind Creations is going to be having a crossover story with Mech Ideas for their future fiction, where it looks like we're going to be having Mech Ideas and Mastermind Creations all appearing in the same adventures together. Oh, and Mastermind Creations is coming out with a set of claws for their Predaking Combiner. I think this is, I'm not sure if they came up with this idea first or if they're copying the one that a customizer on TFW 2005 had come out with. But either way, you end up with claws on your Predaking. Now, Before and After is a company that started off with these launchers for the Masterpiece Datsun trio. Then they came out with Sigma 6, who is their version of Six Gun and Slammer. The next figure they're going to come out with is called the Before and After Clone Twins, who are Pounce and Wingspan. Or is it Wingspan and Pounce? I can't even tell. So that's a good thing that they made them that close. Fans Project Core, which is the ages 3 and up Fans Project store. They like to have lots of exclusives. And they'll be coming up with Tranix Alpha, who is Diaclone Die Battles, I think. And he transforms into 3 separate vehicles that combine into a robot. And this is a big sucker. You can see how he is compared to Steel Core. And there's the prototype. Fans Project proper is going to be coming out with some figures. We've already seen Function X Code, which is their version of Chrome Dome. Quadruple U, which is Weird Wolf. Smart Robin, which is Brainstorm. Then we have Sigma L coming out soon, who is their version of Mind Wipe. He's a bit bigger than the previous Function X figures from the looks of things. Then we have Function X5. Don't have a proper name for him yet, but he is, of course, Skull Cruncher and Grax. We only have prototype images of him yet. People's Prime colored version of him for City of Steel Alligator Con. I think I'd like to see that too. And then Function X6 is going to be Hardhead. X7 is 8-Face, and X8 is Highbrow. We saw some animated transform videos of these guys at TFcon as well. A new line coming from Fans Project, again based on the Dinobots, because you can never have enough, is the Lost Exo Realm, and their first figure is going to be called Columpia with Drapan. This was actually a typo. It's not Durpan, it's Drapan. And it basically means swing and strike in different languages. And they're ultra-sized Dinobots that come with transforming partners who turn into melee weapons. There was a TFcon exclusive chromed up Diaclone boxed version of this figure that came with a Diaclone driver instead of the transforming weapon at TFcon, but the retail version will come with a transforming weapon and just gold paint instead of gold chrome. See, now it's Drapan. Now it's Durpan, Drapan, I don't know. They keep changing the name. And then the future figures, we're going to have LER-02, which looks like Slag. LER-03 is Swoop. LER-04 is Grimlock. LER-06 is Snarl. But who's the LER-05? That one seems to be a new figure. A lot of people are saying it could be an Ankylosaur or it could be Plesiosaur. We'll see what they come out with. Always glad to see them coming out with a more original character. There's the prototypes and the artwork for the Slag figure and the Swoop. Now here's a new one coming out from Fans Project. It's their new leader. And it appears to be an armored up Optimus Prime or maybe Jinri figure. I saw some robot mode pictures of that online as well, but they're not here on the slideshow. Maki Toys, makers of Giant Type 61, which I did not get that for the longest time until I realized that 61 was a joke and it's supposed to be G1. See, 6-1, so that's the G1 colors. And of course we have the original Giant next to him. Now in the Maki Toys fiction, these are actually two different characters. I forget which one's evil, which one's good, but there's actually two giant characters in the Maki Toys fiction. Now Maki Toys have come up with the Quantron, which is their version of Computron, That'll be coming out as a 5-pack soon. Metal Storm is Scattershot. They have Sonic Drill, Celatris, Blindfire, and Overheat. They form Quantron. The Manga Mech series has their versions of Swerve and Gears. Battle Tanker, of course, we've seen. Harper Nove. Now this one's going to be coming out soon. They have their own version of the deluxe Reveal the Shield Optimus Prime figure. They got a updated version of it that goes with their Battle Tanker. That way they don't have to depend on the Hasbro mold to be, or the Battle Tanker to add to. And they're going to be recoloring it as Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, as Optimus Prime, and as Nemesis Prime. And then they can come out with all the tanker add-ons for it. Chaos Possessed Battle Sentinel, for instance. Utopia is the first of their, or actually the second of their city bots. And you can see all the different modes on this. And it combines with their Armageddon upgrade for Year of the whatever Omega Supreme. That Year of the Snake, I think, yes. And now the next combiner coming out for Maki Toys is their Guardia, who is their version of Defensor. This is the Streetwise and Groove, of course, another giant motorcycle. Somebody needs to come up with a different alt mode for Groove. And here's their Defensor itself, Guardia. And then another city bot coming out will be Pandinus, who's their version of Scorponok. It's a big one and has it looks like a stylized Decepticon symbol in the stinger. There's their city mode and their Scorpion mode. There's a render of the robot mode. Yeah. The next Manga Mech series toy will be the Rear End, which I'm guessing is Tailgate. So I wonder if that's going to get repainted into a 2-pack with a Wind Charger figure. X-Transbot, of course, are the makers of Crank and Stax recently. And they'll be coming out with their GoBot Hoss, who's based on Road Ranger. And Ollie and Sonic. I'm looking forward to Sonic. That looks pretty cool. And they provided TFcon their exclusive masterpiece Shafter, who is the yellow recolor of Crank. Looks like TFcon also had the exclusive from KFC, who work very closely with X-Transbots, and they made a reflector version of Iron Paw called Pestilence. These guys are exclusives at TFcon. I think they're selling for about $20. And the TFcon Chicago this year is going to have an exclusive called Axis, who is a evil Decepticon version of Stax, who is black and purple. Because we need a black-purple Stax, right? Well, that's the end of the slideshow for TFcon. And it looks like there was some pretty good stuff there.